All right, everybody. I have to say I am so excited because I have an incredibly special guest who you may not know, but you need to get to know. She's actually one of the most beautiful people I know. And so I just want to introduce to you Aimee Tompkins. Welcome, Aimee.
Hi, everyone.
Yay. So now I've known you, Aimee, for, oh my gosh, how long have we known each other? A
Uh,
while.
yeah, a while.
Years-ish
Yeah,
plus.
almost 10 years.
Yeah. And Aimee is a very creative individual, and she's an artist and she's a filmmaker. But all of her art and her film, and actually poetry, you've done poetry too, you're a writer, there's so many things that are so creative. And it comes out of a very unique perspective on the world and comes out of, frankly, some incredibly rugged lifelong battles. Is that fair to say?
Very fair to say, yeah.
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 And one of the amazing things about Aimee is that she's really honest about her struggles. And I think you're going to be like, oh crap, I can relate.
Yeah.
And one of the joys that I have done in ministering to her and ministering with her is I've just seen this unbelievable transformational growth
Mm.
as you kind of leaned into God, past a bunch of pain points with him, right?
Mm.
And really, who am I? And all of the different things that we're going to kind of get into more detail on that. Let me read your bio real quick because it's a really good one. So, Aimee Tompkins is a graduate from the School of Art Institute of Chicago. That's pretty amazing right there. Earning a Bachelor of Fine Arts with a focus on film in 2008. For over 15 years, Aimee has worked with filmmakers, actors, artists, musicians, and other professionals with the primary goal of transferring a feeling from the set through the screen into the viewer's home. Her expertise in production design, as well as screenwriting, casting, and directing, is an asset to any project that wants a clear, memorable, powerful aesthetic. Aimee is passionate about arts, nature, and the human heart. Oh, rock on. That I could like squirt some tears over that. That's beautiful. When she's not making magic come to life on screen, she enjoys spending time with her handsome dog, Copper. And that's what we got. So love that. And a shout out to Copper.
Yeah, you might hear him. He's seeing some
Yeah.
dogs outside right now.
Yeah, that's totally good. We love it. We do this. It's raw and real and awesome. So now, I've seen you go through a lot of processes, but one thing that's actually coming out is that you're actually working on a film right now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so tell us the name of the film. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah. The name of the film is Stars in the Water, which I got in a dream. So that was very exciting. Gave me a lot of confidence to move forward with it. And it takes place in the 90s, which is also very fun. And it's kind of roughly based off of my own experiences, roughly.
Yeah.
And it's just about this little girl named Alyssa, who's 11, and she's just starting to kind of question things about her body. You know, do I like what I'm seeing? Do I not like what I'm seeing? I don't look like her. Should I look like her? And she's boy crazy. And it's just kind of about her processing all of this information that she's getting from TV and her older sister in the world and where that places her in the world. It kind of at first seems like a love story or like because she's very boy crazy, but it's really a love story about her and her mom. It's kind of a mother-daughter forever
That's a
love
love story right
story.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is beautiful. And with this, and I mean, and I love this so much because the tween years are such a vulnerable,
Right.
like
Yeah.
everything shifting and changing and really, just open to all sorts of influences
Right.
that can awaken things that are really, really destructive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And such a struggle with loving yourself, which can be a lifelong struggle,
Right.
loving your body, accepting yourself, accepting your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that and how that relates to the world.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of the age where if you don't grab it and stop it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, it will most likely just get stronger and grow, and you'll grow with it, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll kind of mold you and shape you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With this love hate or maybe just hate
Right.
relationship with
I
yourself
was
and your
hate.
body. Hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was brutal.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
Mhm.
One of the things, and I think one of the things that is so incredible about this, specifically for you and your story, because this is sort of a rough reflection in some ways of your story, not
Right.
completely,
Right.
but there's a lot of it in there. Uh, is that this has been a brutal battle for really decades for you.
Oh,
It's,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Really,
yeah,
it's taken up so much space in my life
yeah.
and caused so many erroneous false beliefs about
Yeah.
myself that did
I.
send me down certain paths for
Mhm,
sure.
mhm.
And yeah, it's powerful what you believe about yourself.
Ooh, really? I
Yeah.
mean, God is so much into, I want to show you the real me, and I want to show you the real you,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
looks just gorgeous in your flavor, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the battle. That's the battle. And it can get
Yeah.
really ugly and really self-destructive.
Mm.
Yeah. And one of the things, because of the call of God on your life, with just creativity, as an artist, as a filmmaker, and just as a creative person who just loves the world and loves people and is able to see so much beauty.
Mm.
You carry such beauty, and the disconnect that I've seen you struggle with between I see the beauty, uh, and um, and I can't connect with that with myself. And can you um, sort of elaborate a little bit on that struggle and where
Yeah.
you're at?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I do have it used to be pretty hard for me to just openly talk about gifts that I had. But that one I can do. Like, I do have a very strong gift for seeing beauty and finding it and realizing it, but also putting it in its proper place, which is like the highest place.
Mm-hmm.
God is all about beauty, and beauty is the main thing that moves the human soul and connects us with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could easily see it my whole life. And then that's such a, you worded it so perfectly. Yeah, to have that disconnect of it within myself just caused gosh, I never really thought about it like that till just now with you saying that. It caused this, like, I'm also a really like romantic, dramatic person. Not crazy dramatic, but like I'm a poet. So I'm just like, I'll look at a wildflower and fall in love with it and want to write about it. And so that caused just like this great chasm of pain in me, and massive self-rejection. Uh and yeah, a lot of self-rejection and a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and that's really true, particularly, and it's ironic, but I think a lot of it, because actually that's the call of God on your life, to see beauty and reveal beauty. And
Yeah.
so if you're going to be attacked or stopped in any way, it's going to be in this every place but me. And
Totally.
that means I'll never be loved, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Which is such a lie. Well, all of
Right.
it's a lie,
Right.
right? But that's the hellhole that you can start to spin out on. And
Right.
um and anybody who knows Aimee will say she's one of the most beautiful people you'll ever meet. And this is really true. Just beautiful, just beautiful. And she's inspiring. Um, and such a unique view of the world. So it's like you create a window of what you're seeing, and it was like, wow, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And it's how you're wired, and it just flows out of you. And the tragedy of not being able to see that in yourself, and I know we're all on journeys and things like that. Where are you in your process now, in
Yeah.
Aimee with Aimee,
Right.
Aimee's beauty with Aimee's beauty. But where are we at there?
Yeah. I'm so much farther along than I've ever been. It's still a bit of a struggle, but I'm like able to snap out of it quickly.
That's
And
so
I'm able to like look at my body in the mirror and like genuinely love it and love it right where it's at.
yeah.
And I'm pretty far along with like even just enjoying being with myself. And that was always a disconnect too with me as well, because I always like actually genuinely kind of liked myself.
Yeah.
But then there also was at the same time there was this extremely strong self-hatred, like palpable.
Yeah.
And I could never figure out what was going on,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, a massive transformation over the past couple years. Really, it was like slowly moving along, really slowly, and then just in the past, I'd say year and a half, 2 years, I've just moved farther,
So
quicker.
great. And so much of that too coinciding is almost like the unveiling of Aimee to Aimee and the unveiling of the gifts that you carry to the world. This is
Yeah.
like a dual process that God is doing with you. And so I know, having like, hung with you and talked with you and that kind of thing, I feel this call, but you're stymied in it because you're so caught into this place of the hellhole that you were kind of talking about.
Yeah.
Um, and the fact that that's being freed up uh,
Yeah.
is Aimee freed up. And as Aimee's freed up, what you're called to do is freed up,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Would you say, how much needed to be healed with your relationship with God in
Mm-hmm.
this?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like there was a lot of healing that needed to happen there? Was he always a safe place, or was he a safe place except for when he wasn't? How did that feel to you?
Yeah. I would say, with the body issues, that wasn't a issue so much with God. Now with uh the narcolepsy, I've had narcolepsy for since I was 13.
So
And
painful.
that's been a hot topic with
Yeah.
me and the Lord. A hot button. Yeah. A lot of offense, a lot of abandonment issues with him or her. And
You.
yes, right. I
There's
know.
my book. So
Yes. Oh, amazing book. Yeah. So that was and you've had to walk me through a lot of those times, So um yeah, I would say that with that it was there was a lot of irony now in building trust that needed to happen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think that's honest. And I love the way that God meets us where we're honestly living, right? It's
Right.
not like you didn't know the Lord in a lot of ways and didn't love the Lord in a lot of ways,
Oh,
but
very close with
a lot
them.
of disconnect.
Yeah.
Now, how much did you feel like it was like, and I'm not trying to lead you, I'm genuinely asking you,
Mhm.
like with the whole issue with loving my body and feeling like I'm worthy of love, because
Mhm.
actually I'm really beautiful and I'm just loving myself where I'm at on my
Mhm.
journey. Um, and and maybe like I'm angry at you, God, because you didn't create me to look like that,
Mm.
right?
Right, right.
How much was that involved there?
Oh, probably quite a bit. I mean, I haven't thought about it like that in a long time. I definitely know growing up that was a big thing,
Mhm.
like high school, early 20s, always that was probably a big thing because yeah, he could have,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that is always a hot button too with the Lord is like they can do anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you dealt me this hand,
Mhm.
and I somehow took it and really ran with it. I mean, I
Right.
like really did a number on myself.
You did. It was
Yeah.
so painful to watch.
Yeah.
But you gotta meet people, meet God where you're at, meet,
Yeah.
where you're dealing with your issues.
Yeah.
Was he able to like reflect to you? It's like, oh, honey, let me
Mm.
show you. You right? Was
Yeah.
he able to like, did you feel that, or has this been something a little bit more covert, like
Yeah.
in learning to be like, oh man, oh I love me. Okay, there's a little thing there. Okay, but I love that little thing there,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
He could through people,
Mhm, mhm,
like through you. It would happen a lot through you and through my friends, and through other people that would just constantly be speaking into my life,
mhm.
and then every now and then I would have moments with just me and them, that would happen. But that was rough. That was rough to, you want to believe it.
Yeah.
You really want to believe it, but it's not like it's just a switch you can turn on.
No, and I love the honesty of that, because for so many women, and I think men too, in the
Mhm.
areas where we suffer with self-hatred, or just these just strongholds that, oh my God, have a stronghold, right? I mean,
Mhm.
like, oh
Mhm.
my God. Um, and almost to the point you're like, you're despairing. This is just my lot. But the fact that there's this honest struggle,
Right.
and then also the beauty that God will actually send people to you when you can't connect directly.
Right.
God, what do you need? Well, I'm okay, I'll send people to you, or I will show myself in through copper, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That does
And
happen.
the
Yeah,
dog
totally.
ministry, let's just be very clear, the big thing, or through the flower or whatever,
Right.
that there's actually romance there.
Totally.
There's romance of a God who is utterly smitten with
Yes.
his son and his daughter, utterly smitten with his bride, utterly smitten with his friend,
Yeah.
her, all of that. And so, but I love the way God will be like, yeah, well, if you can't receive it, we'll just do something else. And that's, and I think if someone is finding themselves there, like I cannot connect with God in this area of my
Right.
shutdown.
Right.
Um, what advice would you give
Right.
for someone who's like so much there and maybe feels hopeless that they can't get out and they can't really connect with God or whatever?
Right. Forgiveness would be the first. You got to do a classic sit down forgiveness work.
Dang it. Oh, how much
Right?
forgiveness did we
You got to
do?
forgive. You got to forgive God. You got to make a list, sit down and write down all the things, that you hear that you need to forgive them about. And then you got to forgive yourself, and you got to make lists,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
then forgive other people. You got to get the forgiveness out of the way, I think, is the first thing.
It really, it's so painful because it's like, oh my God, we got to do this again. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
we do if we need to do it.
Yeah.
And it's never fun. I mean, I don't like doing forgiveness. I just know, whew, if that's what I need to do for this thing to, I'm doing it.
Right.
I need
Right.
my spinach if it's gonna like free me up here.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
but that's really true. And so basically, the offenses we hold that are not logical, that are not
Right.
scriptural, they don't look like good little Christians, but it's
Right.
really where
It's
you live.
real. Yeah.
It's
It's your
real.
heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your heart. And you have to honor your heart.
Oh, you do. Because you know what? God honors your heart.
Yeah.
Like he already knows we're stinking pissed that,
Right.
I got a saggy butt or whatever it is that I feel like
Right. Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
problem. Right.
Yeah.
Um, someone, I passed by a Twinkie and I put on 5 pounds or something, but
Hmm.
uh whatever that is, and a lot of
Right.
this is body issues and things, but it's whatever. I mean, because men suffer too.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
such a human thing. I think women particularly suffer because we're called to carry beauty. Like this is
Totally.
something that women gift to the world.
Yeah.
And so when you have this calling to carry beauty, and then you feel that somehow you're substandard,
Right. Right.
and the
Right.
world and the enemy, oh my goodness, will just eat your lunch with
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm such a, I mean, I'm way less now because I'm trying to just at where I'm at in my life, I'm trying to consume less things in front of my eyes, so consume less media or movies or whatever. But I just from a very young age, just constant consumer of TV, movies, music, anything in cultures, anything. I'm just consuming it. And so, that all that stuff has a message,
Yeah, it does.
and it's just visual,
Yeah.
and the visual is, if you look like this, you get this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really about love. The body thing is so tormenting, because if you don't have this, then you don't get love. And then there's nothing then after that. You
Oh,
have to have love.
that's the point of, we need love more than we need air.
Yeah.
And when we don't get it, we'll look for it in perverted ways,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we need it like we need air.
Yeah.
But then it gets very self-destructive.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah. And that's amazing. So, and one of the things I love about you is that you are so lovable. I'm just, everybody who knows Aimee just loves her. And what's amazing, and I'll just tell on you a little bit, is like anytime I mention your name, it's like, oh, I love her. It's really, and not everybody gets that,
Yeah.
but it's just, you carry that, and you really care about people, and you're really beautiful. So what else do you want to share about your movie? Now, this is filming in September, correct? Is that when
Yeah.
it starts? So basically what happened, if I understand that okay, let me get the thing here. You are part of the Independent Film School, which is this online school that is incredibly comprehensive. You were telling me, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know everything about movie production, creation.
Yeah. Everything. They'll
Everything.
teach you everything. It's a very good school.
That's incredible. And then you were asked to turn in a script, and it was so good. They're like, oh, this is so good. As a matter of fact, the person who interviewed you, and I'm going to share a link on that has the clip that I saw, and then also, heads up, bring out your wallets, where you can support Aimee with her production costs,
Yeah.
whatever that would look like. We want to bring this film to the world. I
Yeah.
want to be a
Yeah.
part of that. How many tweens do you know, or women that are my age?
Right.
You're the person that was talking to you, that was interviewing you. She was like in her 50s, and she was like choked up. It's like, oh God, I can so relate to this.
Yeah.
Because how many of us can't relate to that tween part of us that is just bleeding out because of something like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm gonna put that link in there for you to support Aimee and support her film. So that's filming in
In
September.
September. Yeah. Early September. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
shooting. We're in pre-production right now. And then September 8th, 9th, and 10th, we'll be shooting in Chicagoland area.
Nice. Now, okay, so I am not a movie. I know how to spell movie, but in terms of the process, so what does pre-production actually mean for those illiterate people like me? Does that mean
Yeah.
what's involved with that?
Pre-production is like where you get everything ready for those 3 days.
Okay.
So movies are like so glamorous to watch, but like they're the most unglamorous thing to do. And so pre-production is, you're finding all of your department heads. So like the cinematographer, the assistant director, the production designer, and then they find all their people. Then you have to find your locations, and you have to get all of your the art is just like what you see on the screen, and then the clothes, and then you just have to schedule everything. It's just a bunch of gathering of people, and they come with their skills. You gather your team, and you schedule everything to the T so that you can get it done in those 3 days.
Days. Wow. And then do you have your actors?
I have one of my main actors. I have the mom, and her name's Jill Oliver. She is awesome. And she actually stepped on as a producing partner with me. So that was a really, really big godsend, because she's in Chicago. And so she can do work there while I'm not there.
Now, who are you aiming this film? What's the audience for the film? Is it
And I also have Nicholas Yanez, who is producing it with me as well. And he helped me produce my last film that he starred in, and we wrote together. So I have
What was the
Basically,
name of
want to
that
make it.
film so that people can find that?
Yeah, that's Ideal Husband, and I could put that in the link too. That was
Yes.
my first film I directed, and he wanted to be in. We wanted to do something where I could direct and he could star in, so we wrote something together.
I love it. Nick is
Yeah,
amazing too. Yeah.
he is so amazing. Yeah.
So amazing. What a gift. Okay, so who is the audience? Who is this geared towards? Like, who are you
Well,
speaking to?
yeah. Hopefully everybody. It's a bit of a throwback film since it
Mhm.
takes place in the 90s. So I wanted to be kind of um, you know, family. A family could watch it.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna submit it to festivals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think a mom could watch it and get something out of it, and I think a young woman could watch it and get something out of it.
Yeah. Would the guys get something out of it too? Where do they fit in?
I think they would because I think it'll be funny and not to say that guys just care about funny stuff, but it's a universal theme about loving yourself,
Yeah.
and especially at that age, how children really need to find that love at home, and the
Wow.
parents
Mhm.
need to be available,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and they're kind of not available
It's
in this.
hard. Yeah, because a lot of times you're just old enough to kind of like take care of yourself, make your bed, fix your lunch, get yourself
Yeah,
on the bus or whatever. So you have kind of independence, but there's an emotional um chasm, a neediness that is actually in that stage that makes that everybody can relate to at that
yeah,
age.
yeah.
That is so great. Wow. Well, what else do you want to share about the film or about you or about the message that you want to carry for people?
Um, I think I just would want to highlight just the power of creation, that we're co-creators, and um we're we're creating our life. I mean, even if you're not a artist or whatever, you're a creator, and you're creating your own life. Um, and you're just kind of stepping into it, you think and you feel and believe, and then it comes to you in that way and you step into it. And I love the way that the Trinity has made us, I mean, we really are made in their image, and yeah, the co-creation and co-creating thing is just amazing. And I think so much of it is about beauty and really putting that on display, because their dance, the Trinity's dance, in what in the symphony that life is, here on earth and all the cosmos, um, in on such a large scale, and even down to like you just brushing your teeth, like all of it means something. And it's one big cosmic dance that's happening. And if we could just, and I'm talking to myself here too, just like see that as you just move through your day, I think it would bring more joy to us and more shalom, more peace. And I'm just appreciative of everybody that's listening to this. And yeah, I love you so much, Catherine.
Yay.
You've
I'm
just been
feeling
such an amazing
love.
person in my life.
Yay. Well,
Yeah.
I love you too. And it's so amazing. And your perspective on beauty is such a hot button for me. I love also your perspective on co-creating. It's so powerful. That makes everything meaningful. And I think
Yeah.
one of the big things that so many people are suffering with is just meaninglessness, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, there's so much meaning. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
powerful. I really believe this film is going to touch so many people. And in with multiple messages that stem out of the underlining message of
Yeah.
love, of loving self, and learning who you are in this world and how
Yeah.
loved and adored you are.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So yay. Well, thank you for joining. Oh, where do people find you?
um, well, you can find me on Facebook.
And I'll include links so you don't have to spell them
Okay,
out.
cool. Yeah, great, great. Yeah, on Facebook or Instagram, or you can just straight up email me if you want to.
That's great. And you have a website
And I have a website. Yep.
that I will put up there as well. So, well, I'm so excited about the film. Tell us the name of the film again, so it just gets in our
Yeah,
heads.
Stars in the Water. It's really kind of a love note too to to the Holy Spirit, who is my mother.
I love that.
So it's kind of a love note to her, and it's a love note. Sorry, it's a kind of a love note to the Mazzaroth. So the
Okay.
Mazzaroth is the Hebrew word for zodiac.
Cool.
And so it's kind of about the upper waters too, like on the deeper level. You know, you might not really see this in the film, but it's about the upper waters and the Mazzaroth and the stars and how they do influence you. And they kind of represent all of them are a picture of God's character.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
You know, the heavens declare the glory of the Lord, right? So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it's such a, and how that, and I love that. And in the waters, there's such depth. This film I know has so many layers because you do. There's nothing superficial about it. So I love it. So yay. Well, everybody go find Aimee. And listen, I'm going to be including a link so that you can support. We're talking Moolah,
Yeah.
whatever amount makes sense that you're feeling led to do so
Yeah.
that you can
It would be
support this project.
yes, that would be so amazing, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So do that and come find Aimee and check out her last film, Ideal Husband. Where do they find that film?
I would have to send them a screener because it was in the process of being submitted to film festivals.
Uh-huh.
But now all the festivals are shut down because of the actors strike. The actors and the writers are on strike. So if you want to watch it, I can definitely just email me or message me on Facebook, and I'll send you a screener of it.
Oh, that's great. Definitely send me a screener of it because I didn't get to see the whole thing. So I'd love to see.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course. So yay. Well, thank you for joining, Aimee.
Thank you,
I love you.
Catherine.
I'm
I
so
love you
excited
too. Yeah.
for everything you're doing and honestly how your life is just opening up. It was just such a blossoming that blesses the world. So it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Catherine.
Yay. All right, everybody, share this with someone who needs this. You know, there's people you know that are going to be so blessed. It's going to be a lifeline to them and stirs something really deep inside. And please support Aimee. Go find her and have a fabulous evening, day, week, whatever. Oh, you had something else?
Yes. And let me just say this to everybody. Just wherever you're at, don't give up. Just don't give up, because it's going to get better. Not to say it's not going to be hard or that it's not hard now. But he really is trustworthy. They really are trustworthy and they're faithful, and it'll work itself out if you just keep getting up. You know, I don't know what the scripture is exactly, but I love that scripture where the righteous fall, like, I don't know, they keep falling.
They keep falling,
but they get up.
but they get up.
But they get up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just don't give up, whatever it is that you're dealing with, because they will work it out.
It's amazing. And I can really testify, Aimee, you didn't come from there was a lot of hell
Yeah.
you were dealing with in your life, and
Yeah.
just like despairing that it would ever get better, but you kept on getting up.
Yeah.
That amazing.
Yeah.
So it really does work. Thank you for that. Someone definitely, multiple people needed to hear that. So thank you for that. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks for having me, Catherine.
Yay. All right, guys, share this with someone. Love you. Love you. Thanks for joining us and have a great time. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.